Hey guys, it's Sarah, and I am here with what I read in November of 2019. So these are the books that I read, and I don't remember how many I had, not too many. I don't have a lot. I think I have maybe like six or eight books that I read in November. So it was a little bit of a slower month for me personally. I am cutting down my numbers that are on the books. So it looks like I have seven. Okay. So first thing that I always do is I have my cards already picked out. I do that off camera because it takes me a while to pick cards and stuff. And I'm going to go ahead and put the book cover on the card and then the number of the book in the order that I have read them for the year on top of that. And I go ahead and do that for all of them, and then I will go ahead and start. So I don't want to show you that whole process. It's really boring. I just want to make sure I get those done so I don't lose the book numbers and all that stuff. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and get started. The first book that I read is The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas. This is by John Boyne, and this is a young adult book that centers around World War II, and it follows a young boy who is his family is moved to Auschwitz, basically. But his father is actually, he works under Hitler, so they are German. And his father is assigned to Auschwitz to be, I don't know, I hate to say like a manager, or like he was a big wig there, I guess. And you see a different side of that situation, coming from a child, number one, and coming from the side of the Germans, like, they were taken care of and they weren't hungry. And, he really didn't have any idea what was going on or that anything bad was happening. He just thought his dad was working and they had to move for his job. And that was really all he was exposed to. So it was very interesting. I really, really liked it a lot. It was just a different take on it, and I ended up giving it 5 stars. And the ending of that book almost broke me. It was, oh my gosh. Yeah. So very, very good. If you haven't read that book, I highly recommend it. I thought it was great. Okay, and then the next one is a graphic novel, which I don't read that many graphic novels, but this is one that I purchased because it is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, and it was adapted. I don't remember who adapted it. I don't remember his name, but he did the artwork and everything, and adapted it for graphic novel format. So it is the same story. It's the same characters, the same everything. It's just kind of edited down and put into picture format as well. And I thought it was fantastic. I really got to experience the story again in a way that I could just kind of fly through it, because I read this in 2 days. It was very, very easy to read, obviously, and the artwork was fantastic. It really captured the feel and the mood of the story, and it was great. So I really loved it. And again, it was a way for me to kind of revisit the novel without reading the whole thing again. That's one of my favorite books of all time, is To Kill a Mockingbird. So if you wanted to either, revisit it quickly without reading it again, or, want a different way to intake the story, that's a great thing to do. It's also great for maybe teenagers in high school or something who haven't read To Kill a Mockingbird or who are intimidated by it. It's definitely a more approachable way, I think, for them to be able to get that story and to read it in a graphic novel format. So I thought it was fantastic, and, definitely gave it 5 stars. And it sits next to my copy of To Kill a Mockingbird on my shelves now. But yeah, I thought it was great. So as you can see, I'm kind of color coordinating my die cuts with the cards, which I normally do anyway, but I have recently reorganized my die cuts to where I organize them by color now instead of by manufacturer. So it's a lot easier for me to, this one was easy for me to grab my pink and to be able to get what I needed quickly. So it's been a little bit more of a fast process for me, which has been nice since I reorganized those. Okay, another classic is The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. This was a reread for me. I did read this in high school, and I reread it again as an adult, and I read it for my young adult literature class. And I had always wanted to reread this one as an adult because I remember loving it in high school, and I wanted to experience it as an adult and see if it brought anything new for me, and it really did. I loved it just as much as I did in high school, and just going through and being with these characters again, and I had forgot a lot of what happened in this book, so it kind of broke my heart all over again. But just, I don't know, just these characters were so good. Like, these are some of the best written characters I've ever read, and they really make you feel a lot for them. So I absolutely loved it. I really need to watch the movie again too, because I loved the movie. In high school, we read the book and watched the movie, and I just loved both. So yeah, this one was really good again. Across that butterfly, I put a piece of transparent washi tape that says just one more chapter. And then I have, that little banner there and a little gold heart circle with a couple of heart enamel dots here because I really did love this book. And that is the cover that I have there. It's, I think I got the 50th anniversary edition of that book. So I love that cover with the leather jacket on it. It's fantastic. Okay, so I'm writing about all that, and I think I'm talking to Kaylin, sorry. I was talking to Kaylin while I was doing this. She was in my room with me, but yeah, so doing that, writing stuff, trying to talk and write at the same time. It's always hard, right? And all of the page protectors I have left are the 4x6 ones, so that's why I'm putting everything together on a piece of cardstock and just kind of gluing them together. So that's why that's happening. I realize I forgot to put my star rating on here. It's kind of important. So I'm going to move one of those enamel hearts up and then put the star rating down here on the bottom, which was a very easy 5 stars. Oh, I did find my star stamp, the fill-in star. I can't remember where I found it, but I did find it in my scrapbook room. But I actually ended up liking the Sharpie better because I was able to really just color it in, and I could get it not overlapping better if I just use my Sharpie. So I'm just going to keep on going with the Sharpie, but I did put the star back in the package. So okay, next is It's Always the Husband. This is by Michelle Campbell. This is the first book I read by Michelle Campbell, and I really liked it. I think she has 2 other books out. I know I have one of them, and then there's another one. I can't remember if it's out already or not, but I definitely plan to read more because I really liked it. So this one is an adult, kind of a mystery thriller type of book, and it follows a set of friends who meet in college, I believe, and you see them become friends, you see them form a bond, and then you see them kind of go throughout their adulthood as well, and how their relationship has changed because there is something pretty big that happens while they're in school, and it changes their relationship, and you see how it affects them in the future, and you kind of go back and forth in between the 2 timelines, like what happened back then and then what's happening now. But it was very good. It was very good. I really liked it. And it really did kind of keep you guessing towards the end. Even like right at the end, I was still kind of like, wait a minute, who did what? So it was good. It was really well done. And I did listen to this one on audiobook. It is narrated by January Lavoie, who is one of my favorite audiobook narrators. She's fantastic. So I will probably listen to her other books if she reads the other ones as well. So it was really good. If you like audiobooks, that's a good one to listen to for sure. Okay, so I did that, and next is a nonfiction. This is called Death's Acre. I cannot remember who wrote this. It is, Bill Bass. That's his name. He is a doctor and scientist, and okay, so this follows, this introduces you to a place called the Body Farm. This is a real place. It is located in Tennessee, and it was created in the name of research so that people could donate their bodies after they have died to the body farm in order for forensic research to be done. Now, the reason for this is because they, when this place was developed or when this place was started, there wasn't a whole lot of information about how a body decomposes and how to figure out a timeline on how long the body's been dead, what happens to the body in different conditions, in different weather conditions, in different environmental situations. So somebody developed this place so that they can take donated corpses, basically, and do the research on that. And it has helped them to develop a lot of the things that are used today to solve murders based on the state that the body is in. So it was really, really interesting. I also listened to this one, and the author narrates it, and he was fantastic. So that one almost reads like a fiction book. It was really, really good. Very, very interesting. And it's a place where you can still donate your body if you want to. So yeah, it was really neat. Okay, so then I went to a nice light. I needed a lighter read. This is Veronica Mars. This one is called The $1,000 Tan Line. And this is based on the Veronica Mars TV show and movie. Like, all those characters are in this. And it's a little bit of a continuation after the movie, I believe, that had come out after the show was done. So it's Veronica, and she's solving a mystery just like normal, and it was fantastic. This is another one I listened to on audio because Kristen Bell read this book, and she played Veronica Mars. So it was great. There is a second book as well, so I do plan to listen to that at some point. And it was just fun. I listened to it really, really quickly, and it was just a fun time. So, yeah, but if you like Veronica Mars, you would definitely like this. Don't go into it if you've never seen Veronica Mars, because you're not going to really fully appreciate it, I don't think. But I love Veronica Mars, so I was happy to give this one a listen. Sorry, I had to keep cutting things out because I was stopping and talking. So I think the girls were just like in and out of my room that afternoon, but it was fine. We were talking and stuff. So, yeah, so I did really like that one. And I gave it 4 stars. It wasn't, like fantastic, but it was fun. It was a good time. I just loved Veronica Mars. I loved the show. I loved the movie and all that good stuff. So, all right. So that is there. And then I think I have one more. Yep. This is another graphic novel. And this one is called My Friend Dahmer. And this is a nonfiction graphic novel written by a man who went to school with Jeffrey Dahmer, the serial killer. And this is his story and some accounts that he experienced knowing Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, he actually spent some time with him. So this kind of retells some of the interactions they had, some of the signs that people were seeing, things that he did in school, the way he was treated, things like that. So it was really interesting. It was very, very interesting. There's also a movie adaptation of this graphic novel that was fantastic. And I'm trying to remember the name of the guy who played Dahmer. He was so good. I'm going to look it up real quick while I'm talking about it. But he is a Disney star, actually. He's like in a bunch of Disney movies and stuff. So to see him like play a really dark character was really cool. Let me look it up for you real quick so I can give you Ross Lynch. That's his name. His name is Ross Lynch. He's the one who plays Jeffrey Dahmer. And he was just, I was floored with how good he was, considering, he's like a Disney star. So for this one, I used this car die cut because I don't know how else I would use it. And it kind of looks a little bit like an old timey car. And this, Jeffrey Dahmer was in the 80s, I think, I'm pretty positive that's when he was doing things, or maybe even the 70s, but a very long time ago. And so I wanted to use this car, and it kind of reminded me a little bit of the car that was in the movie, just like the shape of it and stuff. So going to go ahead and use that. And Jeffrey Dahmer did, his first victim seems to have been like a hitchhiker and stuff that he picked up. So kind of made some sense to use that. And I gave that one 4 stars. I really did like it. It was good. And that's it. So here they are in my album. So not a ton, I only had 7 books for 3, 4, 5, yeah, 7. Sorry, I'm counting for the month of November, but it was still a good month. Read some good books. So, all right, that is going to be it for the month of November. I am almost done, you guys. So I will have December, and then I will do a full flip through for you at the end as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you again soon. Bye.